Hello again and welcome to another edition of Arts and Ideas. I'm Sue Swinand and today we're at 18 Winslow Street in Worcester and we're in the weaving studio of a very interesting couple who run a Saori Weaving studio here. And Nat Needle and his wife Mihoko Wakabayashi are a very dynamic duo team here. And they've been running this studio for how long now?
How long, Mihoko, has it been?
Well, the business is 10 years, more than 10 years, and we have...
September 2000, so rounding up on 11 years here.
Oh, that's good. That's what I call long duration in the arts. When did you first get started in the Saori? Was that in this country or?
Yes, we are the first Saori studio in the United States. When we started in 2004, we started in our apartment, the triple-decker third-floor apartment with just 4 rooms. And then 2004, in February in 2004, we moved to Highland Street, which is a storefront studio. So we did some sales and shops and gallery
and shows,
right, exhibitions at the on Highland Street for 5 years.
5.5, yeah, almost 6 years. 5.5 years.
And now you have this big space, and you can accommodate many students.
Yes.
Right.
It's beautiful here.
What is the history of Saori weaving?
It's the Saori weaving is a contemporary Japanese weaving, started in Osaka, Japan, by one Japanese lady whose name is Misao Jo. When she was 57 years old, after her youngest son got married, she started what she really wanted to do for a long time. That was the weaving. Then she started weaving in her own way, and she made a mistake, which is she skipped the one thread in the work. Then the professional weaver said, "Oh, you made a mistake," but she thought that was just accidental pattern. She,
like a blessing in a way.
Right.
So the beauty of something random.
Right,
yes.
Right. Then she started making more mistakes intentionally. Then comes up this ideas like not planning but just go as flow, and she started teaching, sharing her ideas with others, and other people just enjoy weaving in that way, and they made beautiful stuff.
So there's really a very philosophical grounding for this whole concept of Saori weaving.
So, actually, what Misao Jo was trying to do was restore a certain kind of Zen spontaneity to a weaving which had become over-formalized, over the course of a few centuries. And so went back to kind of original Zen principles of each thing having its own intrinsic value, of being completely in the moment, of trusting your own intuition and your imagination, and also being in community rather than just being self-centered.
All of those ideas are so beautiful.
Yeah, they're Buddhist ideas. They're fundamental Buddhist ideas, which I think are emphasized in Zen quite a bit.
Tell us the meaning of the word Saori, because I think that says quite a bit when you...
Yeah, Ori is weaving in Japanese, and Sa comes from Buddhist word Sai, which is individual dignity, say, the individual quality. So it's meaning weaving thyself.
Weaving thyself.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
say, "Weave
really
thyself."
very much in the idea of art as an expression of the human being
and of the universal human experience.
and also the recognition of the beauty of the randomness of nature and the surprise of the unexpected and the pleasure of the unexpected. And so I love the idea behind it.
The
So
founder just turned 98 years old.
oh my goodness.
And she's still weaving every day.
So there it goes to show you that the therapeutic value of weaving is
Well,
very.
she also drinks a pint of whiskey too. I mean, we didn't. No, she hasn't really. But sounds good.
No, I think there's a great amount of, it's like when I think you said before, it's like a meditation. So you're relaxing yourself, you're expressing, and that seems like a wonderful concept. And you really have used this concept as well. You are an educator as well. And
Both of us.
both of you are educators, and I know you got your doctorate in education from UMass. And so the idea of bringing that kind of concept and that self-discovery to different populations was, I'm not expressing your mission, but I think your mission is very
There's two
good.
aspects to that. One is we feel that people experience their humanity more fully when there aren't artificial, unnecessary barriers put up between them. So in our studio, we take advantage of the accessibility of Saori so that we can have people with and without various disabilities and people of all ages, ranging from, childhood to people in their 80s, all in the same room, all weaving together, and all without any labels except being Saori weavers. People with autism, epilepsy, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, low vision, everything, that might impede a person. But in some ways, I feel like we're all disabled. It's almost a mistake in a sense to talk about abled or not disabled, because a disability is anything that keeps you from doing something that you personally want to do. So you could consider somebody who is very, what they call in machine terms, high functioning. We like machine fit metaphors in our society. We like talking about people as human resources.
Or
and
someone
low
who's very
functioning.
meticulous or
But
exacting or demanding.
We just like people who function really well. But some of those people who are very, very busy at their work or busy caretakers have no time to relax, have no time to do art,
To be themselves.
have no time to be themselves. And if that's not a disability, I don't know what is.
Very, very well said. I agree entirely. It's so important to have something which enables you to just to connect with yourself. And sometimes we don't even have the chance for silence. Sometimes when I see people constantly on their machines, they never have a chance to hear their own thought. It's constantly being programmed for them, and I think that's a really important factor. So you do outreach programs in the community a great deal, don't you? And set up different kinds of classes. And
we try to avoid being a dog and pony show. We're not the kinds. We don't like. We do this. I mean, if someone asks us to do it, and certainly if they're willing to pay us a modest but reasonable fee, we'll go anywhere with the looms and do a demonstration. But we like people to come here, but we also realize that people don't know what weaving is. So we have to go out, and we do events like Start on the Street. We do other events in the community which enable people to try out weaving for free. We've done that at First Night Worcester for a number of years, at the Special Olympics for a number of years. And then we do other events where we get paid to bring our weaving out into the community.
I remember seeing their project last summer at Art in the Park was really quite spectacular. Those were student weavings mixed with other more professional people who had mailed. People from all around the world really had mailed samples of their weaving in long strips. And these were hung on the arched bridges at Elm Park. And they were quite beautiful as the wind moved them and they reflected in the water. Those are the kinds of programs and you had looms there for people in the park to sit down and experience. Since we're on that subject, I really loved the idea of the fact that people could come here and take sort of a tryout class. I'm dying to do this myself.
It's the best deal in town. I mean, it's better than a pizza, really. I mean, for $20.
And it's good for you.
Well, it is. You get your vitamin W, for sure. And for $20, for 2 hours, you sit down, your loom is all set up for you. This is called the warp.
Yeah, she's
And
going to talk
she's
about
gonna
the
talk about
loom
it.
and tell us
And
all
you can
the
just
parts.
weave across for 2 hours, and you get to take home whatever it is you weave,
And you have this feeling of accomplishment,
Yep.
which is great.
and it's all included.
So for $20, you can take a trial lesson.
Yep.
And then you have many other courses running. You said like 6 courses a week and
6 classes.
6
yeah,
classes.
2-hour classes.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but we don't segregate the, we don't set up specifically for kids or specific. for
Everybody
people.
works
So
together as a community.
Any levels together, so people can see different levels and different projects. Then they can stimulate each other and.
Oh, I love it. I really do. And I'm anxious to see some of the garments. I notice you're wearing a shirt that's woven
It's
in
a sweater, really.
sweater.
Yes. There's 5 animals in this sweater,
Oh, yeah?
and none of these animals had to be harmed to make the sweater. They just had to get haircuts.
To donate their hair.
That's right. And so don't feel sorry for them because their hair has long since grown back. Me, on the other hand, you can feel sorry for because this is not growing back. So don't waste your pity on the animals. In this, we have wool. Almost all the dyed material is wool. That's from a sheep. And all this here is alpaca. And this is llama, this brown.
I wanted to know where the llama was.
And this purple here is all cashmere, which is from a goat.
Yeah.
And then this white is from a Angora rabbit.
Now you do some spinning too,
And the
right?
spinning, yes, I started
With
maybe
organic
4 or 5
fibers?
years. Well, it's mostly sheep or organic cotton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love the design of some of these garments too. I don't know if you can see. We'll show some on our slides, but they're very unusual designs that are somewhat asymmetrical and surprising, and not your standard cuts of things, which I like very much. The way
Right.
the sleeves don't exactly match, for example.
Well, they're not
Great.
supposed to.
because not
Yes.
planning to
Yes.
where the
Yes.
sleeve's gonna be. It's just
Yes.
we,
Well, shall we move on and show the people how the looms actually work?
okay.
Let's
That
do
would
that,
be nice.
Mihoko.
Well, this is really fascinating. I'm really excited to be able to see this process in action. And Mihoko is, what kind of weaving are you doing now?
Well, it's Saori weaving, but it's called plain weaving structure. It's basically up and down, from warp and weft.
So a
And then,
nice
yeah.
grid structure. and-
Right,
Yeah.
right. But that's the simplest way to weave, so that's why we can improvise easily. We can
Yes.
change colors and change patterns.
So that's your basic in and out, up and down,
Right,
under
right.
and over.
That's right. That's
And now,
right.
what do you call this?
This is called shadow. So just left to right and come back, right to left.
Look at how
Yeah.
smoothly it sails through. And look, what is in here?
It's a bobbin. And
The
there's
bobbin,
some-
which holds your thread.
some thread.
And
Yeah.
and what else do we have?
This is called warp. That's
The warp threads.
vertical. We have to set up every single, grid here and hose here.
And these are the
This is a
heddles.
Yeah,
Heddles.
heddles and on harness. Then goes, when you put the pedals.
So this is like the most ingenious project. Whoever thought of this is so smart.
So for
Because
several-
instead of
yeah,
having to
years
go
ago.
up and down and under and over each single time with your fingers, the heddles are strung in advance,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all on the harness. Is that what you call it?
Right. Well, this frame calls harness.
Harness. And then it lifts up the threads that are to be gone under.
Right.
And then the next time you lift up the
Switch
other
to the other
threads,
threads,
and
right.
how do you do that with
The
the?
pedal. Yeah.
So
Pedal
she
is
has two
connecting.
foot pedals, which she can raise the one bar of heddles or the other, one
Right,
harness
right.
or the other.
That's right.
And then what that creates, of course, is what do you call
it's
this?
called shed.
The shed. And then it's all as quick as a wink. You can pass the shuttle through there.
Well, even beginners, you can take time to go through.
Carefully.
And yeah,
Yes.
that's okay. And pull. But just movement is just so simple. That's why this people with disabilities can learn, and kids and elderly
Yes,
people can
yes.
pick it up.
And what is this bar that you pull down?
This is called beater.
The beater.
It's a, bring a
And that
thread
packs
weaving
the
there.
row of weaving
Right.
tighter together.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the other thing is you can wind this.
Right.
And so as you go longer,
Round,
you keep
right.
winding.
You can,
and
right.
Yeah.
This is a break, and you can advance the work.
And these are special looms made in Japan, the
Right.
Saori.
Yeah, it's made with cherry tree. And
Really?
yeah, it's actually the founder of Saori's third son designed this, and bobbin winder is in the building here, and even people
Bobbin winder, you say?
Yeah, bobbin winder.
Oh,
here.
so just like
Yeah.
on a sewing machine, you put your bobbin on there and wind,
wind from the
the
comb.
bobbin,
Yeah.
wind, pull.
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
jingle, I remember. But so that winds the bobbin, and then you put it in the shuttle.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Yeah,
excellent.
it's well designed.
The other thing I was really impressed with when we were setting up here is that Mihoko was able to move these looms around. They're so portable. They
right.
just fold right up like a folding chair. And,
Right.
you know, you can position it to the light or any other part of the room.
Right. It's
excellent.
Japanese people don't have the space in Japan. We have to make it compact.
More compact.
Right. But
Yeah.
it's very useful to bring different places for workshops.
And you started weaving in Japan when you were working with special alternative schools
Right.
in Japan?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's again, I think it's very therapeutic. So that's helps some students who have problems in regular schools and calm them down. But at the same time, they can be creative and
Yes.
they can make their own stuff.
Well, that's one of the beautiful things about it is because in this method, you really can't make a mistake.
right.
You know, I always like to say that about art in general.
Right.
You there's not a wrong way to go.
Right.
You can
right.
go whatever way you want. It's
Yes, we call the moving meditation because it's not like a canvas or big canvas you can see from the beginning. You can see whole pictures. When you weave, you have to roll up,
yes.
so you cannot see what you did in the past. And also Saori weaving, we don't have any samples or draft to follow, so you don't know the future. We just be in the present moment, just here. We can weave, we can see
yeah.
it. But the moments of fun will make a wonderful piece.
So there's almost like a linear quality of, as if it's changing from moment to moment, which is nice, instead
Right.
of one whole gestalt of seeing the whole thing at once. Very
Right.
interesting.
Right.
So you're in this present moment and you're having an idea and you're
Right.
weaving in here, and then you get a new idea, and then a new idea, and then another surprise comes, and then
Right.
you forget what you did before.
Exactly.
So you're not using any pattern or
Right.
anything like that.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. We have actually one guy who had a minor stroke, who lost short time memory. So it was hard for him to do anything to do, but Saori really seems like helping him because he doesn't have to remember what he was thinking before. He can always start from when he can.
And you get that kind of, the repetition. It's almost like a
Right.
prayer beat, where you're
Right.
doing a similar motion over and over and
Exactly.
over. So that in a sense that helps you to clarify your mind and
Right.
be in the moment
Right,
as
like
well.
a breathing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think the garments and the things I've seen around the studio are fabulous. And you have a number of continuing events you do too, right?
Right, yes. We have an annual Creative Laundry Day. That's at the Elm Park.
Creative Laundry Day at Elm Park.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Sue Champagny, who is an artist,
Sue Champagny, I
and
know, yes.
Saori Worcester of us, then Art Museum of Worcester, and now we include the Center for Craft of Worcester.
Why is it called Creative Laundry? What's the gist of it?
Well, we came up some, the art in the park. There are a lot of sculptures. We wanted to have a one-day sculptures, community sculptures, and we got idea to see the in city of Worcester, seeing people hanging the laundry outside sometimes. So we want to do it, and Sue made a totem pole, and between totem pole we put the laundry lines, and then we do weaving. We sometimes cut and hanging on
Yes.
the laundry line,
Yes.
and we do Japanese paper dyeing.
So it's
Then,
really
the-
like a happening.
Yes, and the art museum do printing making, and we are going to make a wind chime making.
And all of this
other
is hung
different
on the
activities.
laundry line,
Right,
so-
exactly. So it's starting. It's very empty laundry line.
Yes.
Going to build up a lot of things.
And all the
hanging.
things that are created, and it's just a one-day event,
One-day event
in August in Elm
August
Park.
12th.
August 12th. And if people want more information on that, what is your website?
Yes, our website is saoriworcester.com. Saori, S-A-O-R-I, Worcester. It's one word.com. Then you can go to our website, then so all information is there.
Excellent, excellent. And you're also participate in Start on the Street, and,
Yes.
and then they have the ongoing classes here as well.
Right, right.
So there's so much to experience here, and you welcome people to come and take a sample class.
yes, yeah. You
so
just
on.
give us a call. We have a limited Looms, so we wanted to make sure people have, their spot.
And you don't have to have any prior experience.
That's right. It's good to have people who have no experience. Then they are really open,
Yes.
and they don't mind any mistakes.
Or
If
come
you-
in with preconceived ideas of what
Right.
they're supposed to be doing.
Exactly. Right. Right.
Very
That's-
good.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try this pillow out. I wanted to ask you a little bit more about how you teach and run your classes.
Yes, as I said before, we have, all classes are same, and people who have been coming for more than 3-4 years together with beginners, and I work individually, but people can just choose whatever they want to make, and I can work from there. Like, for example, right now we have 16-year-old boy who liked this very much at our event, Ship to Show, Llama to Pajama, last year in Green Hill Park.
So I like to tell them about that event, the sheep to shawl and llama pajama.
Llama to Pajama, right. That's our show with other people's collaborating together in Green Hill Park, which has llama and sheep. So
you're actually using their fibers, or
we are not actually using their fiber. I think
Their
it's
sheep.
some restriction.
Their sheep, yeah.
But the children can see, okay, sheep, the hair comes to this hair, and we can spin and dye and weave on it, so they can
and
see.
that's at Green Hill Park. And when
where
is that?
the zoo. That's October.
October. Sheep to shawl and llama to pajama. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
So this boy really liked it, so he started taking classes, and we start usually a scarf size piece. But then after that, he wanted to make a big cloak. It's a whole thing. So he have to set up 9 yards of warp, which takes really long time to wind and setting up.
Sure,
But,
to get that length.
But we encourage him to do so. Even this is his second piece.
And then the nice thing about mixing different people and different ages and different
Yes.
abilities is they learned from each other.
Right.
And they, someone might have great audacity. And even though you might be a very experienced weaver,
Right.
you could be excited by a young person's daring.
That's
and
right,
so forth and so
exactly.
on.
Yeah, we sometimes be quiet and concentrating on each other's work. Then sometimes we got the talking about movies or families or some wedding in England, and we just interesting topic we come out, and because this is very relaxing and we are not following any specific pattern, people can talk while they're weaving.
And really
Yes.
enjoy it as a social interaction.
Socializing, exactly, exactly.
Oh, it must be wonderful for teenagers and young children.
think
and,
so, I
and
think
older
so.
people as well.
Right, right. We have a Frank who's 80 years old. He started like when he was 76 years old, and he started coming twice in a week, and he's a master weaver now. He
Yes.
has his own loom at home, but he kept coming, and sometimes he helps me with the workshops and things.
Well, I just want to show the audience some of these wonderful pieces, and they're so, it's like a crazy quilt.
Right,
And
right.
so these little strips are woven and then
Right.
pieced together, or
It's together, right, right.
just sewn like
and it's a woven. That we made a strip and woven.
Oh,
Then sew
okay.
it.
Okay, so this strip is weaving beyond, in between these.
Right.
So it's like a weaving of a weaving. It's really
right.
terrific. And what else do you have there?
Well, it's you know, every pieces are so different, so it's not typical Saori pieces. This is a one width. It's you know, you don't have to make a big weaving. We have this narrow piece, but really long piece.
So
make a
these are
little
all
vest.
pieced together. This is
Right.
one weaving, and then they're
Well,
sewn.
this is a all long piece, one long piece. Right.
piece.
Then cut in like 8 pieces in one. Then sew them together.
And again, the idea is there's no pattern, that these things
Right.
are just randomly pieced. And,
Right.
you know, let's look at the back too. Isn't it beautiful? Look at the little surprise here
Surprise,
with
yeah.
this dark thing.
Back, yeah.
Somebody must have called on the phone.
Maybe.
I love this. And you know, the
Yeah.
other thing is you have to realize that each one of these items is a unique work of art. It's like buying a painting in fiber. So, you know, they're
Wearable
very
art,
special
yeah.
and very unique. I love the one you're wearing.
Okay.
And again, there's that asymmetrical quality in this
Right.
one. Show the back of this.
back.
I love the way it just is joined, and the
Yeah.
straps are a little
Right.
asymmetrical. And turn this way so you don't get tangled up. But it's so functional and so beautiful and so soft. And
This is also, this design came from happy accident. Accidentally, you know, I couldn't have the original way I wanted to put. So, okay, I just cut and paste and
Yeah.
like a puzzle.
in painting, it's the same. You know, you think you're going to do one thing, and that makes you begin and move on. But then you get to a point where somewhere else, something else happens, and then you invent something new because you have to.
Right,
That's
right,
what makes it
exactly.
original.
Yes,
it.
that's right,
And,
that's
and
right.
what is this piece?
No, and sometimes I use a pattern and make a hat like this, but you know, each panel
Yes,
has different
yes.
colors and patterns, and we have a unique hat.
And these, you have items for sale in the studio also, right?
Yes, but we don't open as a store, so we go to start on the street, and we have a Massachusetts Artist Emporium, which is in Holden. It's a new gift shop.
I see.
Feature the local artists.
So you don't really do encouraging sales from here as much
Right.
as in other settings,
Right, right.
venues that you
We
have.
sometimes do a open house in like a Christmas
I see.
season.
Yes.
But-
Well, I am going to check out the website and keep my eye on what's coming up because
Okay.
these are fabulous things.
Thank
and
you.
I really want to thank you for
Oh, thank you very
sharing
much.
your space with
You're
us
welcome.
today. And I enjoyed so much talking with you and really learning about the Saori
thank
Weaving,
you.
which I didn't know about before.
Great,
So
thank you.
thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you'll be with us again next time for another edition of Arts and Ideas.